Blah, 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 blah. Testing, testing, testing. Hopefully this works because sometimes the first almost 10 seconds aren't even picked up. So hi, this is Kathleen, and I'm going to talk you through the D2L website for my course and show you a little bit about how it's laid out. This right now is the home page of D2L that you will see when you first log in. Now, throughout this video, sometimes the screens are going to look slightly different because I'm an instructor, but the student view is very similar. So one important thing about this when you first log into D2L is sometimes they have an announcement over here somewhere if D2L is under maintenance. If you can't log into your course, or if you want to plan ahead to make sure that you're not scheduling yourself to take a quiz during the time that they're doing maintenance, just check this announcements. So you will see down here your course. If you are registered properly for this course, you will be able to log into it by clicking on the title of Intro to Television. And here is my homepage for the course. If you're familiar with D2L, every instructor does this differently, so I just wanted to give you a heads up. The first news item here is always going to stay the same. It's basically, welcome to the class, here's how you get started. So you always remember exactly where to go as soon as you log on. So it says here, to get started, go to the Materials tab above. That's right here on the very first tab on this gray bar up here. You can also use the content browser to your right-hand side. This over here, this provides shortcuts to all the material, but I'm going to walk you through the Materials tab just so you know, and when you get more used to it, you can use this content browser. The next news item I have is grading updates. Anytime I have a set of assignments graded, I will list them here, so you can always be checking to see what's graded and go to your gradebook. I also have a description of how to view your quiz results. You're definitely going to want to be doing this, especially as you study for tests. I also have a video that tells you a little bit about how to read comments from me. It's very simple, so don't feel like it's a ton of instructions, but once you learn how to do it, it'll be really quick and you'll be able to review things. The other item I have here is just some information about the discussions. It's not all that important, but it's nice to keep our discussion board looking clean the way I've set it up, so you can look through that when you get ready. And I also have a copy of the welcoming email, which you should have received. If you didn't receive it, you can click here to read it after you've logged on to the course. So that is my homepage. The other thing on the homepage is this Contact the Instructor link. It's actually going to look a little different in a few days because I'm going to update it, so it may already be updated by the time you're watching this, but it has my email, my phone number, my office hours. You can get a hold of me at any time, and I'll return your message within 24 hours or less. And if you're calling me during office hours, which I'll talk about in a minute, then you can get a hold of me live. So let's do this. Let's go to the Materials tab. The main thing you're going to want to do is go to the Materials tab and click on Content. Right here. Content means everything you need to know and everything you need to access to do the class. So let's click on Content and see what happens. So you click on Content, here's what you're going to get. A table of contents, and over here on the left-hand side, everything is listed for the entire summer. Week 1 is July 9th through the 12th, Week 2, Week 3, Week 4, and Week 5. So this is a really fast class, like I said in my other video, but every assignment that you need is under these links right here, okay? So there shouldn't be any question. Now you see the dates are on here too, June 25th. I just set that early just so we could look at it. But it's due July 12th. Week 1 is due Friday, July 12th at midnight. Everything is midnight, and these are all Fridays, these last days. So, oops, that's actually wrong. It should say July 19th. Sorry about that. July 19th to 26th, July 26th to August 2nd, and August 2nd to August 9th. So the class ends on August 9th. So that's what these tabs are for. So the first tab you'll see, though, is the instructor's office, and what this is a question board. If you have a question about the class, something like, have you graded the such and such yet, or I can't access quiz 2, it's telling me I have an error message, something like that, something that you think particularly will apply to other students as well, this would be a great place to post that. I've had sometimes students will post things like, the discussion is locked, I can't get in, and then other students will say, me too, and I'll respond and say, I fixed it, that kind of thing. So if you hit compose on every discussion board, this blue compose button will allow you to type a message and everyone will see it. So if you have a personal question about your grade or something like that, or a concern, I would recommend you use email or phone instead of the question board, but this is a nice way to do that. Now, a couple ways you can get back to where you were. You can go back to the Materials tab and click Content. You could also click Table of Contents over here or Instructor's Office or wherever you want to go back to. So I'll just click Table of Contents again, and here we are. The other thing I have here is Welcome to Introduction to Television Online. It's just some basic things. There's something I want to point out to you is a checklist of all assignments and due dates. I have this in a couple of different places, but it's certainly here in this little introduction. So I basically just give you an overview here, just reminding you every weekend, or every week has a deadline, which is Friday. There is a show project for this class, which we'll talk a little bit more about. Just a reminder that you're going to be working on a project all semester that goes along with the class. So table of contents again, we'll go back. And now we have the syllabus. Syllabus is very important. You're actually going to take a quiz over this by July 12th. So you want to look at this. Here's my contact information again. Monday through Thursday are my office hours, which basically means, actually I'm not on campus. I need to change that. But I will be working at my computer from 9 to 11 Monday through Thursday. So if you need to contact me live, that's a great time to do it. Otherwise, I respond to messages. You can read through the catalog description, you can read through the learning outcomes, the textbook, hopefully you have by now, Television, Critical Methods and Applications, the 4th edition. You also need the ability to watch clips on your computer, so make sure your computer's up to date with all of your software. And network television on a TV, that may not actually be required. You may be able to watch on Netflix or things like that. So just make sure you have the ability to watch television. And sometimes it's, a lot of times you can choose which format and which media you use to watch programs. But for sure, when I have clips, you're going to want to make sure you have the software to watch those. This tells you a little bit how the grades are given. Now I want to show you that you notice these are blue links here: discussions, activities, quizzes, tests, and the show project. These are the things that are graded for the class. Now if you click on each one of these links, it actually gives you a description of what each one is. So when you're going through the syllabus in week 1, you can click on each link and it will tell you a little bit about it. Sometimes the links do take a little while to load, as you see here. Maybe there's something wrong with that one, so I'll have to go back and check that, sorry. I'm going to go back to the content page. I know some of them work for sure, but I'll make sure they all work. So you click on those links and it will tell you a little bit more about each thing. Okay, I'll have to look into that. So go back to content, materials, content, always where you want to go, materials and content. The other thing I have here is a due dates checklist. Now, sometimes these PDFs take a little while to open, so if you get a black screen, at first just wait a few seconds and it should pop up. So here's my file. This is a checklist for Intro to Television for the online class. So this tells you the same thing is laid out in the table of contents, but this is an actual checklist that you can print off, and you can just hit this print button right here and it'll go to your printer. But it tells you everything that's due. So in week 1, which by the way is a short week, everything's due on July 12th. Most weeks are Friday to Friday, but the first week is Tuesday to Friday. You have a syllabus quiz, you have chapter 1 quiz. You have these 4 discussion boards, and you have an assignment. So that's all due by the first week. Week 2, you have these 4 chapters to read and take quizzes over. You have these 4 discussions, and you have these 3 assignments actually. That one should be over on the left-hand side. And you have a test in week 2. I know it comes really fast, but the test is really just a compilation of the quizzes plus some extra essay questions. Here's week 3 assignments, here's week 4, here's week 5. So you can literally print this off, keep it by your computer, and check things off as you go. The next page tells you how things are graded, which again was in the syllabus, but I have it here too. So if you ever want to go back to where you were, you can always click on the title of the class, just so you know. So click on content. And so those are the 3 things under how this course is set up: the welcome, the syllabus, and the due dates checklist. Let's look at week 1. Week 1, when you click on this over here, all of these items are going to pop up. These are the same things that are on your checklist. They're in a little bit of a different order. I recommend you do them in this order that's listed on here, and then there you are. So you have an overview that every week has an overview. It tells you exactly what's due. Now what's cool about this is once you click on that overview, you see this next button right here. You can actually go to the next item without going back to the table of contents. So once you've read this overview and you've got it down, you can click on the next button and here's the next item. Oh, reading assignment for week 1. It says read through the syllabus and chapter 1. So every week tells you what to read. I also have a link here, just a quick article that was really fun I wanted you to read. So click on the next button again. And now here's the lecture for week 1, or for chapter 1. So the lectures a lot of times are narrated PowerPoints, just like the one you're looking at now, that talks you through some of the major points in the chapter. So I'd really recommend you watch those along with reading the chapter. The next thing you want to do is take your syllabus quiz. Now that you've read the syllabus, you can take the syllabus quiz. You don't have to do these things in this order, it's just suggested. So once you hit on the quiz, you can hit Start Quiz. Then the next button again. There's the Chapter 1 quiz. The next item is the assignment that I want you to do, which includes watching this clip and reading some of these articles that I have here, and then it tells you how to submit it to the Dropbox. Then the next thing is a discussion. Now the discussion boards are a major component of this class, and they're not too academic. I mean, I'm not asking you to, list a bunch of terms and talk about all the theories in the textbook, but I am asking you to use your own experience and knowledge and just share. Imagine that we're sitting in a classroom and that we're asking these questions and I'm putting you in small groups and I'm having you talk about this stuff. That's exactly what the discussions are. So this first one just asks you to introduce yourself, but the next one is a little bit more in depth. It's talking about how do you tell stories? What do you do throughout your day when you're having conversations or texting or whatever? And how does that involve telling stories? Because that all relates to the way in which we watch television. So you'll hit the compose button whenever you're ready to post in the discussions. One thing it's important to know about the discussions, here's another one on family values. You watch this clip, it's just for fun. You don't have to watch all of it, but you get an idea. You go to this website and look for fun articles about family values and how they're horribly trampled over in television, as we all know, and we can have a conversation about that. So we're just sitting around talking is what we're doing. It may seem tedious, it may seem like busy work, but I really want you to get involved with these discussions. I do want you to post in every single discussion at least twice, okay? And I want you to do it on 2 different days. So you really want to be planning your class work in terms of at least 2 separate days where you log into each discussion. And the reason I want you to do that is because people are going to respond to you and they're going to add new things since the first time you logged on. So log on like prior to Wednesday of each week and then log on again before Friday, just to make sure that you're interacting with these discussion boards, that they're not just posting something and then forgetting about it. So that is all described in the way that I grade discussion boards. So you want to look at that really closely. So you can always go back to week 1 items by clicking on the little thing up there that I just did. So here again is all the things that are listed for week 1. And once you've gone through all of these things and submitted them, you are done with week 1. Now, if you click on week 2, you'll notice that they're black instead of blue. These links here in week 1 are blue because they're available. Week 2 items are not available yet, so you can see them, but you can't actually click on them until I make them available. Last thing I want to let you know is that I generally open the weeks prior to the start date. So for example, week 2 will be open before July 12th. I just keep it scheduled as Friday to Friday just to keep it helpful for you. But if you want to work ahead, you certainly can, as long as they're open and available for you, because some of you are going to work at a faster pace. So you can see how you definitely want to keep up with the class. I'm going to have one more video here that talks about the show project, and then you can get going on the class. And good luck. Everything will be open as of Tuesday, July 9th. Take care.